You know that feeling, right? When you're talking to someone and you can just tell they're not really there. Like their eyes are kind of glazed over, they're nodding, but you know their brain is a million miles away. It's so frustrating. Well, today we're going to talk about how to not be that person. We're diving into the art of being truly 100% present. And look, I've been so guilty of this. I'll be at dinner with my family and, I'll catch myself just scrolling through my phone under the table. It is a terrible habit and one I'm really trying to break. Because here's the thing, when we're not fully present, we're not just missing the moment. We're sending a signal to the people we're with that they aren't the priority, and that just stinks. So check this out. On the one hand, you have physically present. That's, being in the room, maybe hearing some sounds. But on the other side, you've got truly present. That's when you're noticing their facial expressions, feeling that connection, you're all in. It's a world of difference, right? Okay, so how do we get from just being physically in a room to being truly present? It's actually not as complicated as you might think. In fact, according to the source material we're looking at, it all kicks off with one really simple foundational move. I know what you're thinking. Put my phone away, seriously? But what if I miss something important? I totally get it. I used to think that way too. But then it hit me. The most important thing is almost always the person sitting right across from me. This is all about making a conscious choice to make them the priority. I will never forget this one time I was out to dinner with a friend, and she just put her phone on silent and turned it face down on the table. It was such a small thing, but wow, it meant so much. Without saying a word, she told me that she was all there and that our conversation was the most important thing happening in that moment. Just think about the last time you had a really great conversation. I'm willing to bet your phone was totally out of the picture. When we're not being constantly pinged and buzzed by our devices, conversations just flow. The laughter lasts a little longer. You start to notice the little things, like the tone of their voice or the way they pause. The moments just feel more real and way more memorable. So, we've covered putting the phone away. That's the barrier to entry, right? But that's just step one. Once we've created that distraction-free space, we can start to get proactive and actually build these meaningful moments of connection. So how do we do that? How do we build those moments? Well, the source material lays out 3 super simple but powerful practices. As we go through them, just think about where you could plug these into your own life. Okay, first up, small traditions. I love this idea. This isn't about some huge, elaborate production. It's about finding those simple, repeatable things that you share with people you love. For me and my partner, it's making coffee together every single morning. It's a tiny thing, but it's our thing. And it's just a great way to start the day feeling connected. So what are some of your small traditions? Maybe it's a weekly game night or a late night talk session, or maybe it's just celebrating the tiny wins together. Whatever it is, hold on to it, because that's the stuff that makes life feel really rich. And seriously, they work. When I'm making coffee in the morning, I am not thinking about my to-do list. I'm not stressing about emails. I'm just there, in that moment, enjoying the smell of the coffee and hanging out with the person I love. It's such a great way to ground yourself in the now instead of worrying about what's next. All right, this one is huge. I used to be a terrible listener. I was always so busy thinking about the brilliant thing I was going to say next that I wasn't actually hearing what the other person was saying. But then I started practicing this idea of listening with presence. And wow, it has changed my relationships. When you truly listen, you're not just hearing words, you're trying to understand their whole world. Have you ever been in one of those conversations where you feel so in sync with the other person that it's like time just stops? That's what happens when you listen with presence. You're not just trading information anymore. You're creating a moment of real, genuine understanding. And I love this third idea, shared sensory experiences. It's such a brilliant way to get out of your own head and just be in the moment. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could be as simple as going for a walk and actually noticing the trees and the sounds and the way the air feels. One of my absolute favorite sensory experiences is cooking with my partner. We'll put on some music, maybe pour a glass of wine, and just have fun creating something together. It's an awesome way to connect and unwind without the pressure of having to have a deep conversation. I can still smell my grandmother's baking. It's been years and years, but that smell can instantly take me right back to her kitchen. That's the incredible power of our senses. They anchor our memories and make them so vivid they can stick with us for a lifetime. So we've talked about ditching the phone,
creating small traditions and sharing sensory experiences. But there's one more piece to this puzzle. It's something you can do anytime, anywhere, and it's all about the art of noticing.
Okay, the next time you're having a good time, I mean really, truly enjoying yourself, I want you to try something. Just for a split second, press pause in your mind and just notice. Notice the sights, the sounds, the feelings. And for just that half a second, tell yourself, hey, this is a good moment. I want to remember this.
I've been trying to do this more often, and honestly, it's made a huge difference. Just that tiny little internal nod to yourself, this matters, I'm happy I'm here. It makes you feel so much more grateful and so much more present. It's a simple little mental trick, but it is incredibly powerful. I used to be so obsessed with getting the perfect photo. I'd spend so much time trying to stage the perfect shot that I would totally miss the actual moment itself. But then I realized life isn't about creating perfect moments. It's about actually living in the messy, imperfect, beautiful moments that are happening all around us all the time. So for me, my plan is to be 100% present during dinner with my family tonight. No phones, no distractions, just good food and whatever conversation comes up. So what about you? What's one moment, big or small, that you're going to choose to fully show up for today?